when we go down the track, we get on some tracks up to 5 Gs of force. And when an astronaut takes off on a rocket ship into space, they get 9 Gs. So like it tells you how incredibly tough it is on your body as you go down the track.
Every year, athletes whip down a twisting ice track in a gravity-powered sled that, for viewers, is exhilarating to watch and sometimes frightening. 2018 Team Canada Olympic bobsledder Alysia Rissling is one of the most dominated athletes in the field and is speaking out about the dangers and silent part of the sport called sled head.
Basically, what I started to experience after doing multiple trips down the track was it started off as just noticing I'm extremely tired. Other things that I experienced were headaches, and I'm not the kind of person, unless there's a wicked Chinook here in Calgary, I don't really get headaches. I just feel cloudy. That would be my describe as symptoms. And it took a little while to realize that, other athletes feel that too.
It's not a common term or even the proper medical term. It's considered a concussion or a subconcussive injury. And it's something that Rissling says more athletes are starting to talk about and are hoping to bring awareness to those watching them compete.
I think just with all that's come out, there was a documentary called The Weight of Gold that came out that had to, and one of our people near and dear to our hearts who have suffered from depression and then, ended up committing suicide. It really affected our community a lot harder. And people started to talk a lot more about head injuries and basically like the repetitive stress that we take to our brains.
Rissling has battled the effects of sled head for years and searched for different ways to combat it. This summer, she started wearing a newly FDA and Health Canada cleared product called the Q Collar and immediately noticed a difference in how she felt after training.
It's a really simple device and it helps to protect your brain, not just from those big impacts, but from the repeated small impacts. Mm-hmm. And it's shown actually to help with the symptoms of sled head.
Her positive attitude has been admired for the last decade, as well as her push not only to history on the track, but for equality of representation in her sport.
If you would have told me as a 14-year-old that I could be 33 and still competing at the highest level, I would have laughed in your face. I'm like, that's not a thing. Like, women can't do that. And I just think the opportunities for women have grown so much, especially in the last 5 to 10 years, and they continue to grow. I'm so excited for this next generation of girls who have so many female role models that they can look at.
For City News, I'm Lindsay Dunn.